Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Commander Clash podcast, where we talk all things Commander. And this week is a special episode. This week, we read your mean comments and respond. Over, I say, like 2-3 years of Commander Clash podcast, we in general don't engage with the mean comments in our comment. You know, it's like a nuanced discussion. You don't want to like yell at people. You don't want to get into like the fabled internet argument. But today we're clapping back. And starting with Seth, probably better with a Saffron Olive. How are you doing, Seth?
I'm doing good. I actually do respond to some mean comments sometimes, but I'm excited for this. This should be interesting.
Do you just delete them? Do you abuse your moderator powers?
No, I hate deleting comments. I hate like you gotta have like if there's a racial slur or something, obviously it's deleted. But yeah. Otherwise, if you're mean to me, that's perfectly fine. Go for it.
Krim, the Asian Avenger. Clearly, you get no mean comments, so this one was
That's
hard
the
one
problem,
for you, right?
This was really hard for me to find. I couldn't find any actually, so I really had to dig.
Tomer, Budget Commander, were you depressed after reading all the mean comments? Because I was.
I found out that I had like some dedicated haters. Well, just like one dedicated hater. But they had one good mean tweet, so like I'm excited to share my dedicated hitter, my number one fans.
We should send them some culture tokens for boosting our engagement.
Yeah,
that's super
thanks for your content. Thanks for the content.
And I'm the Codfather, Richard, and we will be navigating through mean comments. I will say that I spent like an hour or two digging comments, and I felt a little sad afterwards. Normally, like the mean comments don't affect me, right? But like when you read them just nonstop for 2 hours, I'm like, this is why you don't use social media, folks. This is kind of upsetting, right? But I slept it off, and now I'm ready to clap back. So.
Oh, Richard, I've dealt with this all my life, so you know what?
This is why you just don't read them. You're just like la 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 la. It's good, right?
Oh no, you just season yourself with it. You know, you use it as motivation to troll the internet harder.
Okay.
That's how.
Before we get into it, today's show is brought to you by Card Conduit, the easiest way to sell your Magic cards. Card Conduit lets you skip all the typing, time, and work associated with buy listing. Their curated service lets you send in as many cards as you want with buy list value $1 more, and you pay just a 5% service fee. You can also use their sorted service where you list and sort your cards and pay only 2%. You get a detailed report and fast payment once your order is processed, and you get 10% off by heading over to cardconduit.com/MTGGoldfish. So thank you, Card Conduit, for supporting our show. All right, I'm gonna kick things off. I'm gonna start with a softball. Smash Portal. Richard : runs Mystic Sanctuary. Richard : I'm running 2 basics and my mana looks so bad. This is fair.
That's fair.
I will say this season I've been experimenting very heavily with my mana bases, and they always look very suspicious. So the rationale behind this is I am trying to play Mystic Sanctuary, 3 islands only in my deck. Like 3 islands, not even basic island, right? So I'm talking like Triome,
Okay.
Shock. And the only islands I have are just 3 islands. So 5C decks. I'm playing Mystic Sanctuary, all fetches, literally 3 islands, and Lorien Revealed. And that's my package. And the assumption is Mystic Sanctuary is some weird ETB's tap land that has upside sometimes. And I've been forcing it into like every 5C deck. So obviously, if you're running a 2-color deck, this is like great.
Yeah.
Right? But like I'm straight up 3 islands in my deck. I gotta fetch the Triomes, I gotta fetch the Shocks, and then it'll work. Otherwise, it's some weird MDFC that ETB's tapped. That's the theory. I think
How often has it actually worked? I'm trying to think of. I've seen some very bad Mystic Sanctuaries this season. Have there been good ones that I'm not remembering? Have you like actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I have a
There
tweet about a Mystic Sanctuary that worked very well for me. But yeah, 5 color, it doesn't mean a fix. Like it has to. See, the thing you're getting back has to be really good, right?
I mean,
it's the best sorcerer instant in your deck.
But it's in
right?
5
and
color.
it combos with Lorien Revealed.
It just taps for blue. Oh, okay.
The fact that it's fetchable.
I'm still playing with it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's fetchable, I think, makes it worth it. Like I can see the logic. I don't do it myself, but I can see the theory at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's the theory. Is it good? I'm not sure, but so far I'm happy with the results. And you will see these weird So it's like playing like Seagate Restoration in your 5-color deck. It doesn't mana fix. Well, Seagate Restoration is bad. It enters untapped. Like playing Ondu Inversion in your 5-color deck, right? It enters tapped all the time. And then there's this random upside if you can just Ondu Inversion. That's the theory. You guys don't buy it. It's fine. Let's go to Seth. There's reasons. There's reasons. Seth, hit us with the mean comments.
All right. Oh man, there's some good options here. Okay, there's a couple of very common themes. Let's start with this one because I think this is probably my favorite. So, how I sound is always a very popular topic of conversation. This one, Seth sounds like a Midwestern dad cartoon character that got punched in the balls. How do you even respond to that?
What does this mean?
What do I even say? What do you even say to that? So
Does Seth have an accent?
Is it true? Do I sound
Wouldn't
like
you
a
be like an
Midwestern dad
upstate New
cartoon
York
character?
accent, if anything?
If anything, it's probably upstate New York. Do I? I mean, it's hard
I
to
think
know
it's
what
the
you
content
sound
creator
like to other
voice.
people. Yeah, is it?
I think
Is it
so.
Midwestern? Midwestern
I don't know
cartoon
where
kicking the ball?
Midwestern
balls?
is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Midwestern would be like if you had like if you started sounding like you were from Minnesota, right, or
When-
something like that.
When I
or-
hear
or
this,
Minnesota.
I think of like Hank Hill or something. That's what I picture in my head, and I'm
Say
like, I don't
what?
think I sound like Hank Hill. Yeah.
That's
Propane
Texan.
accessories?
That's Southern.
Oh, is that Southern? Okay.
Oh.
Isn't it? Is it? Texas
Yeah.
is considered the South, right?
Yeah, I guess it's Southwest. So yeah, I don't even know what to make of that or how to defend myself from that. So thank you. Okay, I guess.
I remember when we first started showing our faces, people were like, "Whoa, my mind is blown," and I
Yeah.
thought Richard looked like Seth, and Seth looked like Richard.
Yeah.
I remember that comment. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and people
Yep.
said me and Seth sound like each
Everyone,
other, basically.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've gotten before Kermit the Frog. Somebody said in the comment section, Tomer sound like Kermit the Frog. And I was like, hell yeah, thanks.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was
Oh,
going
man.
for.
Hit us with the
That
Kermit
is-
voice, Tomer. Hit us
Yo,
with-
wait,
I don't
hold
even know
on.
how. I didn't know what. Seth's
oh my
blocked
god.
out. There you go. That's now the comment section can associate my voice with that. You're welcome.
All right, Tomer gave us a sneak peek, but Tomer hit us with the mean comment.
Okay, I will introduce you to my number one hater. When I was like scrolling past, so the way we did this, or the way I did this, I filtered my name, Tomer, in the comments section of YouTube channel. And I just scrolled down from date, like the recent to the oldest, and see what people had to say with my name. And this user popped up many times. So this is the first time that it popped up, and I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. But Jeff2267 said, Tomer again proves that Commander players can't read. How does he manage to blunder literally every game? And like, I looked at that comment and I was like, valid. Like, I do blunder every game and I can't read my cards. Like, yeah, that's true. In my defense, we're playing new decks every single week. So most of the time, these cards, or at least the assembly of these cards, I've never played before. And we're always playing like new commanders and everything. So yes, I don't read all my cards ahead of time, and sometimes I'll miss some stuff. So that was very valid. But we'll get to the juicier ones afterwards too.
Also in your defense, there's a lot of words on cards now. I was just talking to Richard about this like earlier about Ixalan, how like double-sided, so many words, confusing wording. So who has time to actually read all that? We're making content. We're not here to
We're trying to
read.
like banter and like do be entertaining at the same time. So it's like it's rough, but like I valid. You know what? Valid.
I think the comment's valid. It's not only Tomer, it's all commander players. I've punted so many times on camera. Like, is it a cast trigger, an ETB trigger? Like, what does it even do? There's like 4 lines of extra abilities on this card that we forgot about. Yeah, it's just the perils of playing Magic nowadays. There's just too much stuff going on. You just don't even know what half the cards even are anymore. You're just like, I didn't even know this card existed. When was this? Oh, this was like random commander product from like 3 sets ago from some pre-con that no one ever talked about, and here it is, right?
The one that gets me every single time, I'm like, where is this from? 90% of the time, it's from like the New Capenna Commander precons. For some reason, that's like a black hole in my memory that it happened. I acknowledge that it happened. I have no idea if the cards came from there. And then every single time people are like, they bust out a thing. I'm like, what is that from? Oh, it's from that set. Okay. I don't know why.
All right, Krim, hit us with one of these rare mean comments that you managed to dig up.
Dude, it was really hard. I only had 3 spreadsheets to go through. Okay. So I'll start pretty easy, I guess. I think this is one of the ones from Aiden Noir 597, right? It's not like them specifically, it's this type of comment. I get a lot of these, and it's Krim clearly a way ahead of everyone else. Why are you targeting me? I'm just trying to take care of player who's clearly not the problem. The rest of the players and audience, shocked face. But you know what? So there is something to this. I say this, and I think the one thing I've learned is people don't read like between the lines. I am joking. I obviously am the problem, right? Like I understand I'm the problem. I see somebody be like, "Oh my god, how does Krim not know he's the problem?" I'm like, dude, I have 50 Eldrazi out. Of course I'm the problem. Like it's as simple as me just just being, oh, what? Surprise, it is me. I am the problem. So spoiler alert, everyone. When your boy is saying he's not the problem, that's probably when I know I'm the problem. So like I am sorry.
I always assumed that was your form of politicking. Like that was just a strategy to like deflect the attention onto other people.
I mean, engage in a little deflection now and then. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I've been known to dabble in a little bit of deflection, but like legitimately, when I see these comments, I always just go, do these people know that I'm kidding? like
I think our
they?
humor passes over some people's head, at least. Like every time there's a threat on the table, I'm like, oh, someone Swords to Plowshares it, right? And I'm just joking. And I'm like, obviously, if I cared, I would just put Swords to Plowshares into my deck, right? But they're like, well, Richard, if you keep saying that, why don't you put Swords to Plowshares in your deck? And I'm like, we're just memeing, right? Like, I could just put it in my deck if I wanted, right? But sometimes it just goes over the heads of people.
Yeah, I think because we ham up some things, right? Like it's like, oh, he's so salty. Oh, he doesn't know what. How is he not the problem? Whoa, like that. We're mostly kidding. We're mostly kidding.
All right, my turn. Speaking of Swords to Plowshares, every episode of anything, there's a Swords to Plowshares counter. It always comes up, and inevitably the YouTube comments come out. So here's my favorite one. ATK9989. I will never get over the fact that Richard is the only person in Commander Clash history to lose a game to a turn 1 sword/path and still argues against removal and swords path in particular. This is everything that's wrong with people's card evaluation, right? Like, did Richard get owned? Of course he got owned, right? I was out of the game. It was a hilarious moment. Check out the short. But you are not here to own people, right? You are here to win the game. So your question should be, did Krim's percentage of winning the game increase or decrease as he snapped off the Swords to Plowshares? Spoiler alert, Krim lost this game, right? That Swords did not help him win this game. That's what you should be, you should be evaluating. Did Krim's percentage of winning go up or down by playing it? Did it go up or down by putting it in his deck? Not that Richard got owned, right? Because if you want to own someone, you definitely can, right? You put Strip Mine in your deck, you put Wasteland in your deck. Every turn, you destroy their land, you forcible whatever they play, and congratulations, that person will never make any progress, and neither will you, right? But that's not what we're here for. We're here to win the game. So you need to ask, did Krim increase his chance of winning the game? That's the question. And you can argue that he did or did not, right? But that would be the line of thought you should be following, rather than this guy got owned, therefore I should play Swords to Plowshares.
Did I not live though? Like as opposed to just losing the game earlier?
Yeah,
No,
I have to agree with Krim.
What
I
happened
think
that
it was
game
correct.
was
It
you had an
helped us.
unpowered deck, and then you probably needed me to draw aggro and to help you fight the other decks. I remember vaguely that you were like out of commission that game after you wrecked me, but I don't remember. It's been a while.
No, I played a bunch of humans and became a threat. I mean, no, I wasn't.
I think I think the whole premise is off, and most people actually do play Commander just to own other people. Like
That's
strip
true.
mine the bounce land, commandeer,
Commandeer the mana crib.
crib. Like,
That's true.
isn't that the main manatize someone? Oh, nothing
Yeah.
feels better than getting someone with the manatide. Like, you can kill me as long as I got you with the manatide. I die happy.
I think if
Should we
somebody
change
does,
the focus of our podcast instead of like winning, making correct lines, having fun? Like, how hard can you own someone? Like, how hard can you get them?
regardless of whether it was correct like win rise, because that's another debate altogether. I think like if
Yeah.
I was in Crim's situation, I would snap it off every single time because the
Yeah.
memes are great.
Would you
That's
do it
just
if you
great
were a content
entertainment.
creator? So we
Yes,
would do it
because-
because we're content creators.
Yes,
But like, remember Commandeer Strip Mine? We used to do that because we didn't know any better and it like made for funny content. But I feel like if we played today, we wouldn't do that because we're like, oh, this is so bad. Like I'm down so hard and I shouldn't do this. And like I'm tempted just for the YouTube clips. But what do you think? Is that a content creator problem? Would you do this at a command fest to someone?
don't you want to entertain your
Yeah.
friend too, though? Like I
Yeah.
still want to have entertaining games, even if I'm not making content. Like I still want to
Yeah.
I think I
entertain my
would.
buddies.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
if I could have a shirt that said "Your Go,"
Seth, hit us up with
Oh,
the
all right.
comment.
All right, here. This is a good one. This is from at John Smith. Watching Seth be greedy and then die was really funny to me. He had the opportunity to stop his death many times, and he just chose not to, and he lost the game because of it. That is in response to the Holiday Coal Exchange Commander Clash episode, although you probably could have written that comment for many of my Commander Clash episodes. There have been many, many times when I have chose the greedy path instead of the staying alive path, and I stand behind that decision. I like drawing cards. What can I say?
Yeah. Also, to your defense, there's sometimes where we look at it and it looks greedy. Like, for example, there was recently Richard was playing Chatterfang, and you gave him tokens. The only person to get tokens was Chatterfang, and that gave Richard enough to kill 2 people instead of 1. And I remember in the game, I was like, "This is a colossal misplay. Like this increases the chance of Richard just killing me versus Richard killing me and killing Seth." And then I looked at the comment, like I forgot about the game. And I looked at the comment section way after. And I remember the comment section, there was at least like 3 comments saying, this play was brilliant. Because what it did was it made Richard overextend, and it killed Crim and Tomer, and then allowed Seth to win the game afterwards. So maybe like it's because we don't see your perspective sometimes, that like some stuff, the greedier plays end up making a lot of more sense in hindsight.
It's definitely that. It's
was
actually
a
me being
master
brilliant. Yeah.
Like if you had to clip like how to play Commander. So Seth's takeaway was we need to play swords because I had Chatterfang with a mithril coat on it and he couldn't destroy it. But what he did was he used all his resources to stay alive. He used the Fairies Pro to stay alive. And then on his turn, he pumped my team. So had he not done that, I would have just straight up killed him. But he pumped my team and gave me the opportunity to take out Tomer and Crim in one go. So I went for the 2 players. And then I did that. And then Seth untapped and killed me. That was a masterclass, right? He managed to stay alive. He kept me as the focus. He was drawing all these cards at the same time, and he won the game. Had he actually swords my Chatterfang, what would have happened was Tomer would untap, Tramp of the Hordzum, and he would die. Right? So he like used all resources available to him, stayed alive, and won the game. And like everyone was confused. Everyone was like, why are you king making? And like, what's going on? And I was happily eating all the aggro, and Seth was like skating under the radar. So like that was actually a masterclass moment if you actually like break it down and look at it. So it's quite interesting that this happens a lot of times, and then we don't actually break it down because we just, we're moving on. We're confused too and stuff like that. But if you actually go back and watch, Seth's acting skill also puts it over the top. His Academy Award winning. I'm just gonna die anyway, so let me do something and give Richard this thing, right?
The Academy Awards. The Academy Awards, I'm like I start to like just assume if I think you're a threat, I don't even care what you're saying anymore. Like when Crim says he has all lands, I'm like, I'll just, you have 6 cards in hands, I'm gonna try and take you out. That's it. Like after a while, the words no longer matter to me. Same with Seth. Same with Seth.
I appreciate all the kind words, but I know there literally are times where I actually just greed myself to death. Like literally the card greed. So there are yes, sometimes there's good plays in there. Other times it's literally, oh, I'm down at 2 now because I activated greed 5 times in a row. Oops, like probably shouldn't have done that. So I think there's some legitimacy to the comment too.
All right, Tomer, hit us with a comment.
All right. So I started with the first mean tweet, and that was one of the first ones I found. And then I found some more mean tweets, and then sure enough, our friend Jeff2267 shows up yet again. He shows up a couple times.
The second one.
He shows up a couple times.
Yo,
And I'm like,
boy,
all right, it's the same.
Jeff.
He basically the person basically posts the same thing over and over again that I just blunder every single time. But then we come to this gem. So it's a reply to another post that got a lot of upvotes. The Gear Dude said something nice. When I was playing Sheldon Menery's deck. Sheldon Menery recently passed away, and I wanted to honor him by playing one of his favorite iconic signature decks. You do this to yourself, which is the Ruhan deck. So the original comment says, I thought it was really cool how Tomer brought out one of Sheldon's decks to honor him. Really cool. And RIP to Sheldon. Thank you for making one of the best formats out there. Really nice. And then the reply from Jeff. If I die, please don't ever let Tomer misplay my favorite cards on Clash. Damn.
Jeff, man, that's not cool. That's
Wow.
not cool, Jeff. There's making fun of us, and then there's disrespecting people, and this like not even disrespecting Tomer, right? Like this is a nice comment about Sheldon, and you had to hijack it with trying to be funny. That's not cool, dude. That's
You got
not
a lot
cool.
from Jeff.
I don't know if they're trying to be funny. I think they might be genuinely just that kind of guy in real life all the time.
And to
Jeff,
be-
we need an intervention. We need an intervention.
Jeff, why do you hate me, Jeff? Why do you
There's
hate me?
internet trolling, and then there's like.
And to be fair, yes, I did misplay a lot of that game. Like I misplay every game. Let's be honest. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the best player in Magic. I'm definitely not even the best. Like I'm probably very low on skill wise in terms of the amount of games that I play. Honestly, but I did have a really cool moment in that game where like I stole all of Seth's stuff and then Lothar Forge Master.
Oh.
I felt really
Oh.
smart about that. I don't know. A lot of people like that one.
That
And then
was
yeah,
so
I misplayed
brutal.
afterwards, but I still have my moments.
Yeah,
on,
you
Jeff.
got me. You
Seth
got
was
me
an
good.
artifact deck, so he rebuilt immediately to turn after it. It was
Yeah,
massive.
but
he
it
didn't
was
get like
really
8 for
cool.
1.
I thought it was still very cool. Anyway,
Krim, what do you have for us?
So I have like it starts with 1 from Flying Whale 21. And it's like a similar comment from somebody named Adam Philatrolt 3393. It starts with Flying Whale, who says, "Is it me, or does Krim just play the same deck over and over again? It seems so boring." But then Adam Philatrolt says, "I love that they called out Krim on the fact that all his decks are basically the same. This was such a cool episode to hear about the others' playstyles and deck choices." So it's the reason why I say it starts with Flying Whales, because I see this comment, right? These types of comments, but I have a super fan that is successfully. I feel like Jeff, whatever Jeff is saying, like imagine if Jeff did this on actually literally every episode. I've seen this person comment so many times that I now memorize their profile photo. I don't even have to look at their name and their 30 different accounts they've made. I'm like, oh, it's my boy. Like there are
Number
people
one.
that does it. Dude, I feel like I should send this person a postcard. Like, thank you for the years of support. You have given me so much engagement. This person has commented, and every time we do anything, right? They will always be like, "Oh, you all are so great. I love what." At first, it started off with, "Hey, Krim, I hated that Krim brought XYZ. I despise Krim for XYZ." And then then I think like they were told, "Hey, you need to lighten up a bit." And then And then they switched it. They go, "Oh, I love what everyone else is doing, and I'm glad that y'all have shown yada yada yada." Also, it shows it's so cool that Crim doesn't get to do XYZ, or y'all are better than Crim. So they found a way to sugarcoat their hate for me, and I love this. This is okay. He is actually my second my second fan. I have a number one fan, but this person does make me laugh because they go through every video. But to reply back to both of these comments, yes, I do play a core package of cards. To lightly put it, yeah, I do play a core card.
To
you
be
know
fair,
why?
Crim's busted out green a lot.
He has.
Yeah, it's about
And
This
Green
season,
plays
this season.
Crim plays a lot of aggro too. It's
Yeah.
not
Well-
always just Demir X, right?
I think-
like he'll just randomly aggro you out.
I think aggro is one of Crim's like more traditional play styles because like he goes aggro a lot. And it's not just like, oh, I'm a Mr. Control player. It's like aggro tempo. Like one of my favorite decks is not even blue. It's Mardu Humans, the Trin and Silvar deck. But
I
like,
love that deck.
yeah,
I mean, no, I don't. I
sure.
play only one deck.
you have some cards in each color that you like playing a lot. Like if you're in black, you're gonna have Opposition Agent probably. If you're in blue, you have like Mana Drain. Well, I was like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody runs
I-
most of these cards too.
I don't know, but when we look at this season review stats, there is a lot
He
of
does
Grixis
skew
under
Grixis.
Crim. We do see like kind of
Well-
these 3 bars very high and then the other 2. But this season you have
a lot
kind
of
of broke out of that a little bit, yeah.
I feel like I've actually spread my wings quite a bit
Yeah.
recently.
This
If you
season,
look
I
at
think you
all
really
the decks
have.
I've played.
Yeah.
You have to play Selesnya. That's gonna
It
be
might
like
be
the
Crim
real.
is not even like the least green player. He's played green quite a bit. He's actually cast Farseek several times
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather not tell people that, I'd rather just let them think that I didn't.
I want to
because
see Crim on Selesnya.
He's got a
straight up
reputation to
non-Grixis
maintain.
colors.
Yeah, I've got a
Don't tell
reputation
anyone,
of
yeah.
withholding. Yeah. Shh.
All right. Back to me. Adam Henwood 1114. This is a comment that always happens. He wins because he depends on Crim running excessive removal to handle early threats. Metagaming within a playgroup doesn't make Richard right about spot removal. His take isn't just about swords. He barely runs any 1-for-1s anymore. And then Towelociraptor responds, "You realize Crim didn't play this week, right?" And who won? I won that game, by the way. There's this misconception that I can't interact or something. I will say if we calculate the stats and you calculate number of permanents destroyed, I would be by far, in a way, number one. Like I don't play 1-for-1 removal, but I play lots and lots and lots of defensive spells, and a lot of those are wraths. So I do interact with the board. But also like try to kill me, bro. Like it is not easy, right? Like a swords is a one-time interaction. If I have a propaganda up, that's interaction for every player, every turn for the rest of the game. Right? If I have a Maze of Ith up, that is stopping your attacker, from 3 players every turn, every game. And I actually like reverse Uno'd you. For you to hit me, you need to interact with me first, right? You need to remove my propaganda, my Maze of Ith, and then you can go ahead and try to hit me. And usually no one will do that, right? Like in the early games, you're trying to set up, you're not going to waste your resources doing it. And then obviously as the game progresses, you might, be actually motivated to kill me and you'll actually start dismantling that, right? But I would say I interact way more than anyone in the group. I just do not run Swords to Plowshares, right? My interaction lasts a lot longer and is looser, right? But if I pull forward a propaganda Maze of It holding a fog, like good luck. Like you need a lot of resources to get to me versus just me holding a sword that is a one-time use. So
And
Yeah.
a lot of it only helped you. That's the other thing I've noticed. Like it's all like if you sword's the best thing on the battlefield, that kind of benefits 3 of the 4 players. But a lot of Richard's interaction is like, oh, fog when you're attacking me, Maze's Ith when you're attacking me, ghostly prison so you don't want to attack me.
Yeah.
So I think it actually like it's really hard to kill Richard. I realize every game we play, I'm like, oh my god, there's ghostly prison. He's got 3 Maze of his because he Vesuva'd it, and then he has been like, so what's the point? Why would I even bother to try to kill Richard? Because it's so hard. So I guess I'm gonna try to kill Tomer or Crim because they actually don't have those things. So it kind of does work in a weird way.
I had recently I killed Seth in a commander clash because Richard and Seth were both had a mind's eye or whatever, and they were literally just like spending their entire turn, all their mana, just exchanging card draw and tapping out. And I was like, all right, they're drawing a lot of cards. They're not doing anything on board, but they're drawing a lot of cards. So I have to deal with this now before they wipe the board or have protection or blah, 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 blah. And I had to kill one person. And the decision was very easy because Richard had a Ghostly Prison and Seth did not. So I just went for Seth. Like I didn't have the mana to kill both. So it does work. And also like this criticism about like inbred metas. It's like obviously you do alter your decisions on what you run based on the metagame. Like even if you're just going to a game store and you're at the game store, it's all attack win conditions, right? And it's not a lot of combo, not a lot of drain. Would you not alter your deck so that you won't just die to like a Crater Hoof that often and have less answers to certain combos that you don't see that much? It's not being in red, it's just correctly adapting your deck to the thing. Like if I'm playing an artifact deck and nobody deals with my artifacts, then obviously I'm going to run less artifact protection or recursion, right? Like why would I spend all these slots on something that I never come across? So like I don't know, I never see that criticism as invalid. Or as valid, rather.
All right, Seth, hit us with another comment.
Okay, so we did a podcast a while ago about the top 10 counter spells, and I really don't like Arcane Denial. I'm very, very public about my dislike of that card. There were many, many comments. Apparently, I used the argument that I don't like giving my opponent a card, and many people in the comments realize that there's another card that I infamously refuse to pay the one for and give opponents lots of cards. So had a comment from Davik Kanhala. Seth's brain is broken and logic does not exist. Got it. Also, Seth's logic is angering me. This is from Hapasi. Seth logic is angering me. He won't give his opponent a card to counter a spell, but he'll give them 10 cards for free through Rhystic Study. All of this is completely true.
I explained this, Seth.
I have never.
I think I wrote this comment. What the
Was it me? Yeah.
We're gonna mill him out. We're gonna mill him out. I have never said I was not a hypocrite. Maybe the logic is not consistent, and I kind of see that. I kind of see that now, but at the same time, there's other counters I can play. That would be my actual defense to this. I don't have to play Arcane Denial. I can play Literal Counterspell. I don't have to. Rhystic Study, I don't play it. Someone else plays it. What am I supposed to? They are putting me in that decision. Like, they're making me make this choice, and I might need that mana for something. You never know, because I'm drawing cards.
This is an intervention.
But
Seth.
how many times have you had one mana left over?
We just have to keep hitting him with Spelltile Enforcer. I'm just gonna run it every single week. A Spelltile Enforcer. And he's just gonna be like, it's gonna be just like that Schrodinger thing, or not Schrodinger thing, the Pavlovian response, where you just see somebody that says, "Would you like to pay the one?" And he's just like, "Yes, of course, yes."
Yeah.
And then we slowly introduce Rhystic Study back into our metagame.
I think Seth is being reasonable here. It's a Universes Beyond argument, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why do you hate Universes Beyond? Because I can control whether I play the card or not. I can control whether I play Arcane Denial or not. But I cannot control you playing Rhystic Study, and I don't want to see Rhystic Study in my game, right? It's kind of that logic. I don't know if I buy it, but
Yeah,
there's some
there's an
sound
argument
logic
there.
though, right? It's rational.
I don't like Rhystic Study either, but if it shows up at my game, then I'll just used to play correctly around it.
What
right?
if Seth just wants to have everyone hate the card so that it's banned? He just
It-
needs
yeah.
to play a game with the RC
I'm trying to show.
in the
You've done
pod,
it.
and they'll see it happen, and they're like, "This card is dumb. We should get rid of this."
I still think that more people than you want to admit play against Rhystic Study like I do. I still think that that is a hill I will die on. I'm not the only one out there. If you're reading this and listening to this, let me know in the comments. Do you actually pay the one for Rhystic Study? Maybe we got to do a poll on this because I think there's a lot of me's out there.
I'm pretty sure most people do not, especially the more casual people. Like maybe if you spend all your time reading Commander Theory, like you understand it, but even then, you're susceptible to like the Prisoner's Dilemma. But
Yeah.
casual players are like, I want to cast my 5-drop. I'm not
Yeah.
paying this at all.
I need,
right?
I need
Like,
this
what's the
mana
point,
rock.
right?
Yeah.
Casual. I see it actually. I see it a lot more in casual than CDH. To be fair, that's why I stopped playing CDH. I just every single time a Rhystic Study goes on the battlefield, people are like, "Well, I have to play my mana rocks," and it's just like they just dump everything. It's like you could have just done this. We could have all just collectively just done this over a couple turns, and then we'd be
It's
fine.
the same fallacy that they think whatever they're playing will overcome the Rhystic Study and that it's worth it, right? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, this is actually worth.
As they pocket their
Rhystic
force
Study.
of will, their fierce guardianship, their mana drain. Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course, yeah, you'll get through all of them. Yep. Oh, you got your you drew into his dock side too. You know, oh, okay.
And I will say, we always think like CDH players play Titan optimal. Like I have seen so many CDH games where Rhystic Study just pops off.
That's the
People are like,
norm. That's literally
don't
the norm.
worry.
I'm
I
sorry,
can combo
CDH
through
players.
this. Don't worry, I can combo through this, right? Did you account for the fact that the other person will have to interact with you as you combo off, and then the third person will keep drawing off Rhystic Study, and at the end, Rhystic Study player wins and like surprise Pikachu. But like everyone's always like, I got it. I've calculated it. I've got it, right? And like they don't got it.
They don't
It
got
usually
it.
doesn't work out.
Oh, God.
Who are we on? We're on Tomer now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another one. This is Noah Chen 8759. And this was the most upvoted of the there was a couple hater comments on it. Not even haters, a critique. I'll be honest, I think Tomer could have tried a little harder to break the color pie than looping extra turns with Mystic Sanctuary. That is very blue. That was on the We Break the Color Pie episode, and I was playing a lands deck. My justification, which I think is still valid, is I was looping a land to win the game. I literally won with Moonfolk. But I will concede that Infinite Turns is very blue. So you're right. I don't know. That's valid criticism. I had other combos that won with like Sunscorched Desert. You know, I ping you infinite times with my land too. They're all just looping lands up and down, you know, like bounces to my hand, put it back onto the battlefield. Bounces to my hand, put it back on. That's literally all of them. But yeah, doing it with extra turns, yeah, valid. It was too blue. You know, you're right.
Noah Chen might be one of my alt accounts actually on YouTube
Yeah,
that
who's off
I leave
account?
snarky
Who's
comments
off
on. Yeah.
account was this?
Like, I mean, my haters are usually right, but like,
I mean, yeah, it's a tough sell to somehow make extra turns not feel blue. They're just like so blue. So I think you got a little unlucky. Like if you had the Sunscorched Desert like synergy or something, if that's what ended the game, I think you would have taken a lot less hate for that. So you kind of got a little low rolly that you ended up with the extra turn one, which everyone picked up on.
it had multiple combos. They were all land based. You know, my deck was very land focused, landfall and all that stuff. But like, I had that one in there too, and I drew it and I did it, and that's unfortunate. I probably shouldn't have run it. Oh well.
Couldn't avoid the lure of Moonfolk.
Yeah.
Such a competitive.
Grim, hit us with a comment.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna save my number one fan for the final comment. So I'll go to the next one. The other one I've got is from somebody named Kurt Z6HL. It was during the should we ban the One Ring discussion. Krim playing the role of the cartoon henchman villain yet again.
Hell yeah.
Is this a compliment?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think-
Isn't that the role you try to
Did
play?
you not hear Misery's back on the menu every single intro? Like,
Maybe this was meant to be a compliment. I'm not sure because why is it that so many people, like I've read comments online, I can't find the link exactly. It's a really old video, but it's reoccurring comments along the lines of this, and it's like, oh look, like Krim is a real is pretty much a cartoon character. I wouldn't listen to him or whatever he has to say, right? And I'm just like, that is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I love that. I'm just imagining just like cartoon noises as I run around and do things. Like, yeah, I'm even called a cartoon henchman villain. I appreciate that.
Just needed
right?
to add Japanese cartoon henchman. Like, what?
Oh, come on, dude.
What?
I'm twirling my mustache, that hypothetically, of course, and I'm tying people to train tracks and running away, you know? Like,
Hey, Cartoon Henchman Village is better than Cartoon Midwestern Dad who was hitting the ball. So I think you come out ahead in that category.
I mean, every group needs a hero, right? Every story.
Cartoon henchman.
I want who's the protagonist in our group? This is the question.
Ooh.
Chris?
Me.
Probably,
Me, right?
Be both.
it's probably
Yeah.
Homer.
I think it's mostly like an
Homer.
Always Sunny situation where everybody's like just the anti-hero of
That
the
might
story.
actually that might
That's
actually
true.
be
Tomer can't be
true.
protagonist
We all
after
want- we all want
folk
to be
landfalling,
protagonist.
extra turns comboing us. What kind of hero is this?
I feel like I'm Two-Face. Like I was put up to be the hero at some point, but then I got burned horribly, and now I blame the world, and I just turned into a villain.
I would say Krim is the hero we need. His opposition agent, his hull breacher, keeps it real.
Too many.
That's what we need that we don't
Hero
know
we
we need.
needed.
He's
No,
Batman.
no,
Yeah.
He's
no.
actual
Batman.
Batman.
No.
We're
I mean,
gotta
that's-
stop him. He's ruining our city, but actually,
I
Oh,
think
God.
Batman is actually appropriate.
Give him the Commissioner Gordon monologue.
Say-
Here I go.
Oh, say that again after the fifth wrath, Richard. When we're 3 hours into a Commander Clash game, let's see how you feel about it then.
I mean, sometimes
don't you want to spend more time with me, Seth?
Yeah. Oh.
Krim is ensuring we have quality bonding time.
We
every
do have
week
lots
that-
of
it's
bonding
because of
time, it's
inconsistent
that we don't
writers.
get pulled apart by our busy lives. That we stay together and enjoy each other's presence. You know.
I think it's inconsistent writers
Truly.
for Batman. Sometimes Batman in a movie kills people, and you're like, what? No. Why? Stop that.
All right. Oh, we hinted on this one. This one's a good one. F and Fen. Richard is constantly manipulating the other players in a game. A threat will hit the board. He'll say, "This is a problem for us, Seth. You need to find a way to kill it." And when you take into account that Richard is the employer and the others are his employees, the others being manipulated into meeting his in-game demands makes a lot of sense. It's an unbalanced power dynamic, not a Jedi mind trick. This is true, right? Like, so we try not to have this happen, right? But there is some power dynamic, and unconsciously things may be happening that we can't control. But I will say this to Tomer's point about meta. If you think what I'm doing is effective, when I go out into the wild, it is super, super effective, right? Like on our game,
But-
like everyone here is a really good Magic player, right?
Richard-
Everyone's really good.
Oh.
Go ahead, Seth.
Richard rolls up to MagicCon and sits down and he's like, "Hey, aren't you looking for like an internship at MTG Goldfish or anything? Let's talk about that after the game." And then proceeds to do his thing.
It's also, I don't know. I don't want to like dump water on, I don't know how you say it, dump water on Richard's hot streak or something.
You
But,
don't
like-
want to dump on Richard.
Yeah, I don't want to dump on Richard.
Because of
but-
power dynamics.
Yeah, because he's your boss.
Yeah,
Come on,
because,
let's do it.
because of power dynamics, because of boss.
Let's do it.
But, like-
I have HR
No,
on the
but,
line.
like-
Hold on, Tomer.
how many seasons recently of recent note has Richard had like a huge win percentage over us? Not saying like he won the most, but like it was like a huge. I remember when we started doing stats. I think it was like the first 2 seasons when we started doing stats episode. We saw like Richard was winning way too much, and then I remember it was like after the second time in a row he did that. We were like all collectively were like, all right. Richard can't keep getting away with it. That became a meme. Richard can't keep getting away with it. And we literally just like dunked on him. We didn't even care. It was like, somebody's ahead and then there's Richard and we're like, Richard. And then like it balanced out. I don't think Richard has been like super ahead in terms of win percentage afterwards. Am I wrong?
I
So
don't think so.
behind the scenes look, what we try to do is balance the win rate so we're all equal, right? And if it can't happen in game naturally, like arch enemy dunking or whatever, right? We change our decks or whatever to make sure this happens, right? We pull up stragglers and we try to compress things. But like even outside of that, like people need to understand that everyone here is really, really good at Magic. I think a lot of people underestimate us because we play jank. But like everyone's actually really good. And every week we go on a podcast and we share all of our strategies like straight up. Like we don't like, oh, I'm hiding this secret thing. Like we literally tell everyone exactly what we're doing, exactly our theories, and exactly what we're trying to test and whatever. when I play Moto, when I play Magicons, when I play Paper, my win rate is higher than my modern win rate. It's like 75%. It is disgusting, right? And our fans come up and they're like, Richard, let's play a game. I'm not gonna let you get away with it. 2 hours later, I can't believe you got away with it, right? Like it is like whatever you see here that you think is effective is 100 times more effective in the wild because people haven't spent like 200 games battling Richard strategies, right? They don't know like like when you see Spirit of Companion, like like Crim's like Richard's deflecting, hit him immediately, right? Like there's the propaganda, get it down, right? The third Maze of Ith is coming, hold the counter spell for Fog, like they know what's up. So, yes, this could be a thing. We can't really control it. It's just how it is. But things about inbred meta, things about, you're only doing this because you guys play together all the time. I would say we're all super effective when we play outside our group. Like, you guys at MagicCon slay too, right? It's like, when we play pre-release, we always 4-0, right? I mean, like, it's assumed you 4-0, maybe you 3-1. Like, Commander, your win rate is over 50%, right? 60%. Even if you're trying to play your jank deck, like...
Didn't you go to Las Vegas and just go undefeated with Birds, and then you retired Birds for this Vegas because you just absolutely wrecked everyone? So like that is the Birds deck from Commander Clash, like in the wild, just crushing everyone. So the data actually backs up what Richard is saying too, I think.
All right, Seth, hit us with a comment.
Ooh, okay. This is kind of a recent one from RPG Fanboy 14. Seth showing us the exact reason why you don't Teferi's Pro in the main phase and pass. LOL. I've done this. I'm still actually on the fence about whether it's correct ever to Teferi's Pro main phase. So I know it's like counterintuitive because you want to like leave it up, but there's also like counter spells to play around and like other considerations. So I don't know. Is it always a hard wrong to main phase Teferi's Pro? Is obviously wrong if you have many cards in a reliquary tower on the battlefield.
You phased out your reliquary tower.
Yeah, phasing out the reliquary tower was very painful. And I had to discard like many cards to hand size. But in general, like, is it just wrong to main phase a Teferi's Pro? Because I kind of like the safety it offers. Like, you don't have to worry about someone untapping and countering. Maybe I'm just scared of playing with Crim because I always expect Crim to have the mana drain. So I know if Crim untaps, there's some chance there's going to be a counter. But is it just wrong to do?
Two things. First off, I think you as the pod and everyone have willed me always having a mana drain into existence because I always draw it the turn before y'all do something wild. Second off, I don't think it's actually always wrong to do it, right? I mean, maybe not after you drew 32 cards and phased out your reliquary tower, but
that was wrong.
But I will say that sometimes it totally makes sense to do it the main phase. And it comes down to, again, turn order, what's the deck after you, right? Like, can I pass and know that my spell is safe, right? If like, let's just say I'm the player before you or decks like mine, then, I would totally respect doing it right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's entirely context, right? Like, if you need Teferi's Protection to resolve that turn, you're like 100% certain I'm going to cast Teferi's Protection on this turn. It's just a matter of what timing I'm going to do it. Then I would probably just fire it off on your turn, because if you think that if everybody's tapped down and stuff, and you think you can get it, you can resolve it without having issues, then yeah, obviously. But like, I don't know. In situations where you don't know if you're 100% sure if you need Teferi's Protection, or somebody could attack you for lethal, but they're equally likely to hit somebody else and you save it up. But it's all entirely causes. You're definitely not wrong to just fire it off on your main phase.
So Magic players have this built-in shortcut, which is always cast your cards at the last second. And a lot of people don't challenge it enough. Right? Like sometimes like you have to cast something pre-combat, it's an instant, but then they like attack first and like, oops, I should have casted this like pre-combat, because they're not used to thinking of their instants as sorceries.
Yeah.
I will say with Teferi's Pro, a really valid use of it is to control who your opponents attack. Right? Like if you phase out, you're not a target and the damage can go somewhere else. If you're sitting there holding Teferi's Pro up, someone might be like, he has Teferi's Pro, I need to get it out of him. Let me attack him. And then all that damage is wasted on you, right? Yep. Like you phase out and you're cool, but that damage could have been directed at someone else. So doing that as a non-politicking way of like controlling who people attacks is like very strong. And I think I've cast the main phase Teferi's Pro this season too. So it's context dependent, right? And obviously you can get counterspelled or split seconded or I don't know what.
Plus,
Bad stuff could happen when you
I
let
guess
people
that-
untap and they know it's coming, right? They could slap down I don't know, a Grand Abolisher or something from Emeria or something. I don't know, right? Like there are different
Yeah.
ways to mess with it. So you need to think about it to make sure you really want to be doing last second, especially if everyone knows, right? If you're dead on board, they know you got Teferi's Pro out or you got nothing, right? So you might as
Right.
well just do it.
just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. And I very much agree about the instant thing. You see people like that are new and learning the game, like pass their turn, miss their land drop, and then like divination instant speed someone's on step or something. You're like, oh no, you'd like there just because it's an instant doesn't mean you have to cast it at instant speed. There are situations where it's definitely better just to fire it off. So
And sometimes you're allowed to shortcut things. Like, for example, when I have a fetch land, I'm just going to crack it like immediately because it's going to take me the entirety of the turn cycle to find my land and put it onto the battlefield. I'm not going to do it on the end step before my last opponent's turn. No. I'm just firing it off.
Moto, you get the sweet F6 value where you get to just like F6, kick back, like you let your brain rest for a couple minutes while everyone else is taking their turn and then get back into it.
All right. Tomer, hit us with the mean comment.
Okay. Here's an interesting one from recently, last week. Peter Hardyman 7333 says in all caps, so yelling, Tomer, stop playing Kiki.
And this was in
What?
response to a podcast, not even a game.
podcast
This was a
last-
Commander Clash
On
podcast.
the podcast, our commander games going too long. I don't even remember mentioning Kiki. I suppose I mentioned Kiki in that podcast. But my goodness.
When was the last time you played Kiki? Like,
Years.
when was the last time we've actually seen a Kiki? When was the last time you actually put Kiki in a deck?
Literally years. I remember distinctly how upset people were. I think I pulled off Kiki combo like twice in the entirety of Commander Clash, which is like 6 years at this point, maybe even 7 at this point. I don't know. I pulled it off twice. And that was basically it. And people did not like it back then. And I feel like those people from way back in the day, well, I mean, thank you, Peter Hardyman, for remembering Kiki from at least 3 years, right? Like it's been a long time since I've played a Kiki combo, and I've only done it like twice. So thank you for being a long time hater of my stuff. Thank you. And yeah, I'm pretty sure also like I remember going back and looking at like that season, and it was like Richard played like one more Kiki combo deck than me. He just never pulled it off. He had it in his deck more than me, and he never pulled it off. And it was like, oh, but I'm the Kiki player. And like years later, I haven't done it, and it's like I'm the Kiki player. It's like Krim will forever be the Aetherize player. He's like, Krim, stop playing Aetherize. It's like,
I
what?
don't think I ever casted either.
He always has it. Wild.
All right, Krim, hit us with a mean comment.
All right, so it's funny that the super fan is EFN Fen, right? Effin Fen,
Oh,
who has already now been mentioned once before on this podcast, but they said it was in response to the episode of One Drop Creatures. You should replace Krim with someone who takes their job seriously. If he's going to flip a coin, then he didn't really need to be there, did he? Look, all right, I'm going to respond to this in the nicest way possible. Yo, how is Ragavan not the best one drop, okay? Like, how is Ragavan not the best one drop? All right,
Doesn't
that's
work.
what I'm saying.
No,
It is the best.
I thought it was an unblockable rogue Grim. Wasn't that the best one drop? Like Slither Blade or something.
Yo, first off, Changeling Outcast, Slither.
was Ragavan
Blade,
even in the
Ragavan?
lists? Or I think he got
Yes!
eliminated immediately.
Dude, Ragavan's countered by Fury and Bowmasters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ragavan's not Bennett.
y'all are disrespecting. You all are disrespecting my man. All right, my little funny monkey pirate.
You feel
Okay,
good. Teamer Adventures. Manguchi's repping it.
yeah, somebody's got to show. Okay, in Commander, come on, right? These are good one drops. And like the fact that they're so slept on, it hurts me on the inside. So why
I
not
agree.
leave it up to a game of chance, right? Like who cares after that? However, I bring up this comment and F and Fen because I think I see them across multiple Goldfish videos, just doing keg stands of haterade, and I'm just like, you know what? Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Look, just like every video, every story needs a heel. Every YouTube comment section needs a heel as well.
Yeah.
You know, we need these comments to keep us in check.
We all need our
need
depth.
something to rile
Yeah.
everyone up. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Those are our mean comments. What do you guys think? Any conclusions? I will say that the number of mean comments is dwarfed by the number of positive comments and the number of just like good discussion points and things like that. But we thought it'd be funny to just kind of pick some of these out. We never really talked to them. I'm sure we're gonna get lots of comments here because like we doubled down on some takes. So I'm pretty sure if we called you out in this video, I would like to see your comments
Yeah.
below and see what
Oh, you
what
know
the
we will.
response is. We will. We have some super
We
fans
will.
here.
Super fans. Wait. Can I share okay, while we're on the topic of mean comments, can I share one mean comment that I thought cracked me the hell up? It wasn't on the Goldfish podcast. Somebody called Cold Truth, right, on our other podcast. Whenever someone like Krim shows how entrenched he is in so many things like comics, anime, and magic, you have to wonder if he spends any time actually living a real life, like starting a family, cleaning the sheets, and being actually productive.
When was the last time you cleaned your sheets, Krim?
There you go.
You can do that?
All right, here we go. No. This is it. I was watching like some random shorts, like some dating shorts video, right? And then it was like, when was the last time you changed your sheets? The girl asked the guy. And the guy's like 3 weeks. And I'm like, that's pretty good. And the girl's like, disgusting.
What?
and the
so
comments were
dumb.
all towards the guys were like, that's pretty
Wow,
good.
yeah, that's
So
not
when
bad,
was the
yeah.
last time each Goldfish member changed their sheets? Tomo doesn't count. He just moved. Like, when do you normally change your sheets? On what cadence?
Yeah,
do you change
Once
your
a
sheets?
week. Yeah.
That's
Really?
a lie.
Wow.
That's a
Well,
lie.
I
What?
believe it.
No.
That's
what?
where all the time that most people spend watering their plants goes. Tomer spends it changing his sheets. Yeah.
But- no. What? Like
Tomer has to be the winner here for
No, yeah.
cleanliness duration here.
Okay. You know what?
How
All
many
right,
times-
Well,
What about
I mean,
how
are-
many times you do your wash your towels?
Towel.
why-
When
I
they
just
start-
wait till
when
it
they
gets
start
crusty
smelling.
and rock
Aren't-
hard.
No,
Technically, like, aren't you the cleanest thing in your house once you get out of your shower? Shouldn't your towels actually be getting cleaner as you use them if you think about it?
I may have punted showers
That's-
because the
I don't
towel,
know if that logic
the towel starts to get crusty
Come
after a
on.
while.
Come on.
Yeah, like if the towel is like rock hard at some point,
Yeah. If
and
it's
moldy,
it's longer
and
than a week, you're
like
doing it
damp-
wrong.
Okay, so Tomer does
Something.
all of his towels and
Tomer's on
sheets
top of
and
it.
stuff. Do you
Yes.
take out like the duvet cover and everything and wash that every week too?
Richard knows what it's
The
a
debate-
duvet
yeah,
is. Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Seth, are you prepared to give us the real answer after Tomer has just shown us up?
Maybe we should have had
are-
Tomer answer last.
My question was going to be: are sheets actually even a necessity? Like, do you really
Oh.
even need? It's like, I mean, they just get
What are
dirty,
sheets?
and then you gotta wash them. So
I
what's
sleep
the
on
point?
garbage bags. I throw them out afterwards.
I sleep on
So it's-
discarded magic boosters.
Yes,
that'd
old
be
boost,
good.
old booster bags. Probably
Yeah.
like
So
monthly-ish, about once a month. It would be my estimate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard fought number. That's
We're giving
that's
so
me
much
being,
extra fodder
being an
to
adult.
our
That
haters
is me
now.
being an adult. Yeah.
We're just
Dude.
proving their point, by the way. Krim, when was the
valid.
last time you cut into your anime watching to change your sheets?
yo, what do you think I do while I'm watching the anime? I'm waiting for my sheets to dry. Okay,
good.
like
You gotta multitask
do-
with that.
I thought I was doing good. I do it about 2 weeks, 2.5
That's
weeks.
pretty good.
Well, that's actually shocking.
Yeah.
Right?
that's-
Hey, what do you mean that's shocking?
That's pretty
well,
good.
to
I think
be-
that's good.
That's,
Yeah,
I
that's-
mean,
to be
it's better
fair-
than a month.
Better than me.
but
Better than me. Yeah.
The
To
bar is
be
low,
fair-
gentlemen.
I have a dog. I have 2 dogs, and they sleep on the bed with me. So there's a lot of dog
Oh,
hair.
you'd have to do that
So-
even more than like
So
once
I'm
a week.
probably
What?
Maybe it's
behind.
worse.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
worse.
yeah.
That'd probably be like every
I'm probably
3 days or
behind.
something.
Oh no.
Well,
No,
at least
I don't do
to
it.
like get the lint off or something every day, right?
What do you mean? What do you mean get the lint off?
Like
I just
the
have
shed.
you noticed?
Wait, what?
I
You
just-
roll your sheets like every day to get
No, if I had a dog that shedded like
Oh,
crazy.
Wow, Tomer is so on top of things. I'm impressed. Way more than me.
I
What
love
about you,
everyone.
Richard? Do you? How often? You also have your wife to help, right?
I'm
is
married,
that
by the
cheating
way.
that you're married? Yeah,
Oh,
that gives you an advantage.
Well, what if I
Ooh.
told you it was probably a month to like a month and a half?
Okay.
Here's our defense. We shower before we sleep.
That
So we're
definitely-
not
I mean, that
morning
definitely
showers.
helps.
We're nighttime
Yeah.
showers. But I can't be bothered with like taking out the blanket, putting it back in. Like it's so much work. You gotta like tie the corners. Ugh. You gotta, you gotta change the sheets.
It's definitely better if you're a nighttime shower because then you're getting your bed sheets less dirty and you're waking up less dirty.
Cleaner.
But I like
the
my
towels,
morning
they get
showers way
cleaner.
too much.
Dude, when I was single, it was probably like 4 months or something. Like it's gotta be something like
When you get
outrageous
a,
time.
when you get a
dude.
lady
Wow,
over, you're
that's-
like, you sniff it, you're like, oh, I guess it's time.
Do you have like multiple sheets, Tomer?
Yes.
Where you put
How
one in
many
the washing
sets?
and
How many
I only
sets
have
do you
one
have?
set, so every time
I
I
have-
do it, it's
I have,
like
like,
the bed
3
is naked, it's
sets.
unusable.
I have
Okay.
3 sets, yeah. Because you have 2 sets that like you have to rotate through, right? And then you have
Right.
the third one for like as part of the rotation, but also if like somebody stays over, right? You give them
For an emergency, you got the emergency sheets and
Yeah.
for when everything goes
Oh,
wrong.
yeah,
you
that's
got it back.
different. The
I-
guest bed is always clean when they come. They don't,
Wow.
They don't sleep. They don't sleep in like 6-month-old
My bed.
sheets.
Are you sure?
How did we
Depends
get
what
here?
kind of guest? If the guest is staying in your bed, that's a different story than the guest staying in the guest bedroom.
It's gonna be an entire podcast all by
Oh,
itself.
the sheet cast, yeah.
All right, well,
Goldfish
now I
hygiene
know
standards.
this is too much information for everyone, but now we know the frequency at which the Goldfish members change their sheets. Okay, we got to guess Phil. Let's all guess how often Phil does it, and we'll ask him.
Oh no, I bet Phil's like he's on the Tomer schedule every. He's
Phil's
probably
like
every day.
every-
He might be a
every
daily
day.
sheet changer. Actually, yeah, I could see Phil. He has a closet full and just rotates through
He also-
them and, like
He
commander
also has a
decks.
girlfriend. He has a partner. So.
Oh. Okay, so a month. Hold on. I think a month. I still think he's on the set schedule every month.
I don't know. Phil's like get up and go to the gym and like I don't know. I imagine that
He's a
includes-
clean person. I would say weekly. What is the actual like minimum? Weekly?
I think it's
So
you're
it's-
supposed to do weekly.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Are
do.
you?
No, come on. The
That
water
seems
you use, come on.
excessive.
I know, man. Like,
Yeah.
just killing
I'll
the
just live in a
environment.
desert.
Like, all that water, the heat wasted. Like, come on.
These California people would be like, I barely have enough to take a shower before it cuts off.
Yeah, I'd be happy if we went back to the Middle Ages and I showered and like cleaned my sheets like once a year.
Oh,
Be like, it's
no.
spring. It's
Oh,
time to
no.
go down to the river and shower. And
Oh,
do
God.
the
Once a
sheets.
year. Oh, dude. It's so bad.
It's time to go courting. It's summertime. Let's
This
go.
is information I wish I did not know.
Now you know. Now you can judge us accordingly
Can't
to our
unhear.
commander takes based on our personal hygiene. And it is confirmed that we spend too much time playing Magic the Gathering and not enough time laundering our sheets. So with that, let us know and forget all your Magic related things. I want to know how often you launder your sheets in the comments. We need to know right now, are we abnormally dirty? Are we average gamers? Or what's up with this? So we need to know. This is very important. This will decide the future of Commander Clash. With like Clash is cut this week. We're all doing sheets.
Nothing is better than fresh sheets. That's all I'm saying. Nothing is better.
That is, but it takes so much time.
It
It takes
smells
so much
good, and you go under it, and you're like,
It takes so much
clean. Smells like clean.
All right, we'll see you all here back next week.